Hi everyone, I am Venugopal from Team CloudyML. Welcome back to another amazing podcast. Today we have with us a very special guest, Rakesh. He is currently working as a data scientist at Accenture. So Rakesh, welcome to this channel and tell us a bit about yourself and how you are doing.
Hey, hi Vinu. I'm doing good. Actually, I logged in from Hubballi, Karnataka, and I'm basically IT professional working in as a data science analyst in Accenture. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
And I have almost experience of 1.8 years now. Yeah. That's my short introduction. Yeah.
Cool. That's good to hear. Could you tell us your about your academic background, like where you have studied, what branch you have taken? Could you?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As of now, like 2019 is when I graduated actually from NITK Surat. I did my bachelor's in mining engineering, which is totally different from which the stream which I'm working as of now. But yeah, after that, there was a shift in path, where I wanted to aspire some mining plus environmental engineering. That's why I went to IIT Bombay for my master's, and I graduated in the year 2021. 2 years of master's, right? And I did my master's in environmental science and engineering department. Okay. And where I was involved in, there is something called as major projects, which we'll have to work on. Yeah, in data science, we can call capstone projects,
Correct.
We will have to apply all our skills, whatever we have learned. And I applied my, coding skills in the air pollution engineering domain. Okay. That's when I went into this area. Okay. And now from there, my, what we can call analytics journey started. Okay. And now I am be part of that data science analyst, working in the Accenture from past 1.8 years. This is my job.
So great. Yeah, that's really good to hear. And as you have said, like you have done your bachelor's in mining and master's in environmental studies. Like, what made you transition towards data science? Like, what actually interested you towards data science? Like, could you throw us a light on that? Yeah.
Yeah, one thing what I want to, be honest here is like, I didn't know much about data science when I was in, B.Tech, when I was doing my B.Tech. But because as a mining engineer, what we were doing internships like going to mines, understanding how underground and open cast mine work and all those stuff, which is totally different from what I'm doing currently now. Okay. Yeah. But my aspiration was very high. I couldn't clear IIT, as we can all understand, right? We as from 6th standard, 8th standard, we already aspired. We start aspiring from going to IITs, top IITs.
Exactly.
IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, and so on. And we really worked hard. I see a lot of my juniors also working really hard, and I see myself in them actually. And I was the same kid. And what happened is like I was discussing this with my senior, or we can call very senior professor in my college. And what he said, definitely, I got placed in a company which is mainly offering me mining engineering job. Okay, but when I was start discussing with him, he guided me to write GATE. That's when my preparation started, and I wrote GATE during my B.Tech days. It was around February first week of 2019, I think. And yeah, that's when. But the result came very late. It was not like I got selected in the first and second round. It was delayed, and I joined a company. Okay. And that's where when it hit me actually, because I was not happy with what I was doing in my company there. It was not like a bad job or something, but definitely there is the inner calling, right? We see that, yeah, maja nahi aa raha hai. यार ये करना चाहिए था, ये करना चाहिए था. And even after 20 days also I was feeling this, even first 20 days of joining, But as soon as 30 days passed, it was 32nd day, I got a message. I was in a meeting and I got a message from IT Bombay that you have been selected on the process. Okay. And I was very, shocking. I couldn't, understand what's going on. But within just 2 hours, I resigned from the company and joined IT Bombay. Okay.
Great.
That was a short story. Why I got into data science comes after I joined into IIT Bombay. Okay. Because now IIT Bombay is there. The first year of M.Tech was very hectic because I had to understand a lot of environmental science domains. A bit of biology also comes into picture, and physics, chemistry, which we had left in, mainly in 12th standard. They will have to pick up all those things, and it was a very hectic procedure. But as on January, I think 2020, we get an opportunity to choose a topic. Either we can work in air pollution, water pollution, or soil.
Okay.
There are mainly three domains which you can work on. I chose air, and the topic was very interesting. It was air quality trend analysis. where we'll have to identify, whether the policy is implemented by the government, whether they're being effective or not, and it
Okay.
involves serious level of coding. Okay.
Okay.
The best thing that happened to me was my professor. Okay. He changed my life, you can call. And I remember the first day when I went to my professor and asked, sir, इसमें क्या चाहिए होगा? Okay.
Mhm.
What is expected out of me here? And he said, little bit knowledge of our language is needed. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
And till here, I was not at all serious about coding.
Got it.
I hated coding. Literally,
Oh.
if I want to say, I was a person who used to just pass in coding tests, in my
Okay.
B.Tech days. Any. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's when I said, is it very high level coding or something? No, it's the basic statistical coding we can call, finding the mean variance, distributing the variances and everything. Okay. And
Okay.
that's when I took that project. And that's when the journey started, 2020. And slowly I started studying about statistics, what are different statistical techniques, and there are different forecasting techniques also, Arima, Sarima,
Yeah.
and so on.
Yeah.
And started gaining confidence in statistics.
Got
Okay.
it.
And
Yeah.
my profile, without me knowing,
Okay.
it got built in the area of, analytics. Okay.
Mhm.
Where
Yeah.
my
Got
mind was continuously, challenged to work towards analytics. I was continuously seeing F test, D test, and accuracy, R square values on day-to-day basis to check my model is working fine or not.
got it.
This is
Got
what
it.
is going on. And yeah, this was my initial step,
Mhm.
towards analytics.
Mhm.
But if I want to say like exact what is the point when I got more motivated is when my senior got placed. Okay.
Mhm.
There was a time in December. Okay. 2019. Yeah.
Mhm.
When my senior got placed
Mhm.
actually in Japan. Okay. He
Yeah.
was mainly data science profile.
Cool.
That's when it actually motivated me यार सब लोग इतना मेहनत कर रहे हैं और पैकेज भी बहुत मैटर करता है
Better.
एज अ
Yeah.
स्टूडेंट वी सी फर्स्ट थिंग वी सी पैकेज हाँ मतलब बी
Exactly.
हॉनेस्ट ठीक है सब
Exactly.
कुछ ठीक है हाँ यार इसका इतना पैकेज लगा इसका इतना पैकेज लगा एंड
Yeah.
जाके देख रहा हूँ क्या क्या कर क्या रहे हैं इतना ज़्यादा पैकेज मिल गया एंड इंटरनेशनल ऑफर था ओके
Mhm.
तो मैंने वो भी एनवायरमेंटल साइंस से पढ़े थे ठीक है मैंने जाके पूछा डिसीजन लेने से पहले ये एनवायरमेंट में जाना है कि इसमें जाना है
Data science.
ओके
Okay. Yeah.
डेटा साइंस पढ़ाना है तो मैंने उनसे जाके पूछा भैया आपने क्या पढ़ा okay
Mhm.
and what I heard from him is like a very simple explanation of how we can learn data science. It was emerging, we can
Mhm.
call. Okay,
Yeah.
it was not so advanced as of now where people are more towards deep learning, computer vision and everything.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
when he started 2018 or something, it was not
Mhm.
so emerging. He
Yeah.
explained in simple steps that made me believe that I can also do it. Okay.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
that's my journey, how it started. He explained me how to go through it and I caught up that. And I said, nahi, karna hai to isi ko karna hai. That's how my journey started. Yeah. Data
Got
analysis.
it. Got it. So yeah, this is great. Like, you got right people around you who
Hmm.
just guided at the right time, and that made you like that developed some interest in to like inside you. Then you got into data science. So that's really good to hear. And you said that you have learned coding when you first started working on your project, right? So what are the
Mhm.
primary steps you taken? Like I think during your bachelor's as well, you might not have explored coding that much. And
Yes.
yeah, so in your master's itself, that too, when you started working on the project, then only you started exploring coding, right? So what
Mhm.
primary steps you have taken to learn coding? Like
Okay.
you started with R, you said, right? So before
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
like you need to understand what is programming, what is the flow, so all those things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's very good to know. There's an interesting story here. Where my where a lot of my seniors or parents say that कुछ भी अगर सीख रहे हो वो कहीं व्यर्थ नहीं जाता जिंदगी में कहीं ना कहीं आ जाता
Correct,
है
correct.
we get
Yeah.
use yeah, we get use of it actually. That's when because when I was preparing for my B.Tech days for my mining job also mining engineering course and everything, I
Mhm.
have seen everyone was focusing on one statistical language. Okay, some people were
Mm.
focusing MATLAB, some people were doing SAS, some people were doing R, and I heard from someone R is very easy at that point of time,
Yeah.
and even R was not required in my job, but I was saying, यार एक आना चाहिए, and R is very easy, and मैं install किया, and I went through 2 months of programming,
Correct.
YouTube. There's a R tutorial, if you can say. There's a very
Mhm.
old guy who teaches R, and he was very good at it. And it was very interesting. I made notes, like it was around 100-page notes, and that I kept it with myself. Okay. But till 1.5 to 2 years, I didn't use it. Okay. But as soon as my professor said this is a basic requirement, I said, basic I
Mhm.
know. Okay. That's
Got
how
it.
my journey. It's not like I started from scratch in R, because during my B.Tech days I had started, but I had a knowledge of C during my B.Tech first year, C++, okay,
Mhm.
and R in my B.Tech final year. And I
Mhm.
had a basic understanding how it works. That's when
Got
I
it.
started going ahead with R. Okay. That was one part of the R was majorly used in my project. That's it. But my
Okay.
data science domain was totally different. My preparation strategy, I will come to that. Okay. But other than that, my R, my project was mainly used, I was using mainly R language in my project. That's it.
Got it. Got it. So you're saying like you have first learned R. So are there any other languages you try to focus on, or R was something you learned?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, R was it was going well. I was
Okay.
not doing any machine learning as such.
Okay.
But I said, right, I went to my senior. Okay,
Okay.
and he said like the first thing we need for data science, at that point of time, Python.
Understood. Python.
Is like
Yeah.
very popular now. There
Yeah.
was a competition between R and Python, but he preferred
Correct.
Python, and that's why I also started with Python coding.
Python. Okay.
But I
Got it.
didn't spend too much time learning that. There is a teacher called as Tulesco, in YouTube, Python by Tulesco or something. If you search in YouTube, you'll get, and he was a very cool teacher. He used
Okay.
to give, he's everything, see some examples he's giving, there is to a pop up and everything. That was my
Got
first
it.
teacher on, and I
Mhm.
learned Python from there. Okay.
Got it.
That was my first, what you can call language apart from R, which I learned very seriously in
Got
depth. That's it.
got it. Got it. Got it. That's good to hear. So let's move on to the next question. So we can see that you have a pretty good GPA in your masters. Like you were having like 9.4 or 9.5. So
Uh,
you were working on a couple of handful impactful projects, and you were also participating in extracurricular activities. You were
mm,
like you were working on your CGPA as well, and you were focusing on data science part as well. Like, how
okay.
was your typical day in your masters? Like, how were you
Oh,
able to manage all those things? So, could you just
oh,
throw some light on that? Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's a very good question. I hear this question very less, but I am very happy that you focused, because definitely that 9.4 on GPA, it's not only just, number or something. There's definitely a good hard work behind it.
Correct.
There may be a
Exactly.
discussion that GPA important hai, nahi hai, it is important or not, and everything that is the other part. But
Correct.
there is the policy, at least for me, I keep it for myself. I don't tell it to others or something, but they can get inspired from that, and they can implement this in their life. Okay.
Got it.
Mine one thing is like I like sports.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
During my B.Tech days also, I was part of inter NIT team. I won gold and silver medals for my team.
Great.
And that's that inside I had that. Okay. And when I
Great.
went to IIT Bombay,
Mhm.
before going to IIT Bombay, I used to dream I must go to a college where there's a swimming pool. I must go to the college where there's a swimming pool. And suddenly it came true. After 6 months or 1 year, and I suddenly came true. And when I go there, and it's a dream college, and I'm not entering the swimming pool. Okay. I'm not at all entering a swimming pool for past 6 months. It was so, at least hectic for me. I don't know about others. But
Understood. Yeah.
yeah, it's all about adjusting. It was not like my CGPA was so high in the first semester itself. Okay. It was around
Yeah.
8.6, 8.7. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Because definitely we try to struggle, and we try to be in the top 10 of the class, especially me. Okay.
Yeah.
Where
Got
we
it.
try to interact with the students, other students. It's not like we are, missing some
Mhm.
good fun part in college. That will be there,
Yeah.
but we should not plan for it. I at least I didn't plan for it. कि यार इस संडे को ये पार्टी करेंगे, सैटरडे को ये पार्टी करेंगे, नहीं वो नहीं करना है. And what is the thing? I used to always focus on what to study, what to focus on. सुबह से उठ के like a day in a life, you ask right question, what is my
Yeah.
day in a life? I used to get up. As soon as around 7, 8, I get up. I need to step out of my room. That was my first
Mhm.
thing. I should never be in my room. I used to go out, and meet some seniors and go to, definitely attend all the lectures. And instead of going here and there, I used to go to library and sit there, okay, and
Got
read
it. Yeah.
newspapers and everything. Okay. But yeah,
Got it.
whenever if I use, this thing, and when the Friday comes, definitely our friends will make a party plan or go to some meet.
Exactly.
I used to go,
Yeah.
I used to, Mumbai, and there are a lot of places where we can visit, you know, and we did a local train travel and everything. Okay, we enjoyed.
Nice.
When they used to ask me, right, I used to join in. Okay. And I used to say no. I have some other plan. Okay, I need to go to play.
Got
I One day I used to play squash. One day I used to play swimming. One day I used to run in the field. One I tried each and everything there. Okay, not at all. Like it's not like I not missed anything, but yeah, definitely
got it.
I finished my studies first. Okay. Then I used to do everything when here then there. But not wasting lot of times in video games and such. Okay, that's I didn't do. Okay, that's my secret mantra we can call. It was my journey in IT while I was very enjoying. I used to enjoy all the sports, and yes, padai bhi kar leta tha yaar, sahi se. And I used to be along with my professors. And one of the main tricks, in
Mhm.
masters, right, you have to do your projects well because
Yeah.
those carry around 32 credits. It's like studying 5 subjects,
Right.
and one project carry that weightage, and I
Got it.
always used to obey what my professors used to say,
Mhm.
and definitely my professor was very good, and he was telling what to achieve, and I used to always make notes what he's telling, and I always kept in mind what he was expecting out of me, and I delivered it. That's how I achieved that CGPA, and I
Got it.
enjoyed the extracurricular activities which I was telling. Yeah, there were opportunities where I could lead, a lot of people, and I was a department coordinator also.
Got
Where
it.
I used to handle a lot of activities that are going on in college, and used to mentor a lot of my juniors. As a
Got
student
it.
companion, there's another post. As a student companion, we actually help our juniors, and that I like the most. I always love to interact with the people. You know,
Got it. Got it. Got
that's
it.
when people out there, who are listening to this podcast, they can
Mhm.
definitely reach out to me. They can
Yeah.
feel,
Yeah. Definitely.
and I will provide my Instagram ID, LinkedIn ID.
Sure. 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 Definitely. So this is like very inspiring to hear because many people feel that whoever goes to IITs, they will always keep on studying. But that's not the case here. Like I have personally seen many people, and you are one of the example who manages everything. Like they can, they when they want to study, they will study. Like it's about prioritizing things, I would say. So whenever you want to enjoy, you will enjoy. You will study as well. You will upskill yourself. So everything happens there. So that is one thing I think people who are in that misconception, like everyone in IIT study, study, study. So that needs to be gone. And regarding the CGPA, what you have told is that is absolutely correct. Like there is a lot of hard work that is gone behind the CGPA because in IITs or NITs getting that high CGPA is very tough, I would say. As per my personal experience, that's what I'm saying. So it
Mhm.
is really good that you were able to manage everything. So that is really inspiring to hear. So
Okay. Yeah.
thank you for
Cool.
sharing that with us.
Yeah, I'm very delighted that you are actually valuing whatever I have done in my past. But
Yes,
yes, definitely, as I was discussing with you, Venu, you are also in the right journey. It was very inspiring your journey also, which I when I heard when you were talking before the podcast also, right? Yeah, definitely we are on this journey, and let's
yes,
inspire others. That's all I can say. Yeah.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, so I have some couple of questions that are most common. So let's quickly go through that and then
Mm-hmm.
we will go to the last question as well. So
Mm-hmm.
many people feel that so to get an data scientist job at a big tech giant, we would say like Facebook, Meta, or all those big companies. So they feel that masters is something that is necessary. So what's your opinion on that? Do you feel like it is compulsory for getting those type of jobs, or is it something uh, which can be achieved using bachelor's degree with right skill set? So what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, it that's a very good question again. Venu,
Yeah,
because there is why they big companies, they say I have seen one of some of the product companies, they say masters required, and
correct,
especially they ask for computer science also. And
exactly.
I have seen some people telling, if there is no master's degree, they ask for 5 plus years experience.
Yeah,
It certain catch here. It's definitely a good question. I will tell. I was also thinking some other day, like I think 1 year back and everything. Why masters is needed for these roles and everything? What I went to in master's, right, it was an intensive research. You know, the earlier 1 year we went through a lot of literature, but later we were given an opportunity where we can choose our area of research, and then
Got
we'll
it.
have to do intense research on that. Whatever, like reading research papers. In
Got it.
B.Tech, some of the colleges do that. They tell their students to do an intense research and reading lot of research papers and everything. But M.Tech is on another level. Okay, that you from IIT Bombay
Yeah.
and a very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
And what we did there is like we used to get a paper and I used to understand what statistical techniques, what type of coding he has done, okay,
Mhm.
and error analysis, how he distributed, especially me. I used to understand how he, separated long-term trend, short-term trend, and everything,
Mhm.
okay. And I used to implement on that, you know.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
when we go to the product-based companies, since my experience in, I'm working in Accenture, right? It's
Mhm.
not like the solution is already handed towards us or to us, we
Yeah.
have to figure it out. Let's say
Mm.
when something comes and we'll go back to the Google or some of the research papers and we try to understand, yeah, how people have solved it in the past. And you'll
Got
have
it.
to read the research papers. It's not
Mm.
like हमने research paper पढ़ा छोड़ दिया पीछे, ठीक है?
Understood.
I
Yeah.
don't know about the software engineering tool, but at least for data science,
Correct.
especially for people who are working in OpenCV, like computer vision, we can call,
Yeah.
and all those things. People have used a lot of models which is built by some other people,
Correct.
and they will pick something in
Yeah.
that, and suddenly the model starts working for them because that model is specific to their data, right?
That's
And
true.
it's
Yeah.
work like a magic. That's how I feel that masters is somewhere it will help. Okay,
Mhm.
it's not like doing masters will it's not good or something. It will definitely help in your journey, but
Mhm.
there is no nothing to become sad of. Like यार मैंने B.Tech कर लिया, M.Tech के लिए भी time नहीं है. Even
Got it.
B.Tech people when they do their 2 years of experience, right, try to understand whatever they're doing in depth.
Mm.
ओके, लाइक
Yeah.
हाँ, अगर वो
Yeah.
ऑन रहे एनएलपी में कुछ कर रहे हैं, ट्राई टू
Mm.
अंडरस्टैंड ईच एंड एवरीथिंग व्हाट गोस इन एनएलपी, ईच एंड
Got
एवरी मॉडल्स,
got
okay,
it. Yeah.
and you'll have to be very perfect in the sense like at least what you know. It's not like you सब कुछ जानना है, even if you know little, but know in it in full,
Got
try
it.
to go in on that particular topic, and that's how the companies want. You know,
Understood.
earlier I was discussing one of my senior, very senior. He
Mm.
was making companies usually look for, we can call T section or something. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like going wide and going depth. They
Don't
don't want
and
depth.
yeah.
All the way. Okay.
Got-
They want understanding of all the things wide. Okay.
Yeah.
And one topic you need to have a depth.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah.
That's it's very easy to understand.
Got it.
Um, when you focus on these things, right? Definitely, even people with B.Tech background, they can definitely end up in very good companies. Not only product based or service based. Instead
Got it.
of that, a very good company we can call.
Mhm.
And they can understand. They will start enjoying their work because they will get that area of field which they can work on. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Cool. Cool. So it's like even though we don't have master's degree, we can get into data science, but we need to focus majorly on our skills. Like as you said, the T concept, it is very good to have actually. Like we need to at least have some idea on all the breadth of the concept we could say. And one
Mhm.
topic is something we need to have in-depth knowledge. So that will really help. So that's a good suggestion, I would say. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So one more question, like, how did you prepare for interviews? Like you were doing all those things, and in your project, we can say you have a lot of data science stuff itself. But for interviews, there is some specific things that we need to study, right? So how, like, what all topics did you focus on, or what were the resources you were referring in order to like crack the interviews? So could you throw some light on that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, this answer is not a shortcut answer or something. It will not be a 1 minute answer or something. Yeah, people who are literally preparing for an interview, I will just give a roadmap, how they can follow, how I followed. But because I got placed in December, that was my first placement, and I also got placed in, I think February end. Okay, you can consider it as March. I got placed then because there was a double placement for me in IIT Bombay.
Great,
Okay,
great.
and I can tell you what I did. Okay. And starting, being a mining engineer and an environmental engineer, how I started, I already told you, my main project was going on one side. But the second side was mainly I can call data science analyst preparation. Okay.
Great.
First thing is like I started with Python. I always believed in, doing something parallelly. And I was very comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you can pick one item after the other. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
One task. Okay. I used to do parallelly. I used to learn Python in the morning. Okay. Make notes. And I used to practice it in the night. Okay.
Got
Using HackerRank or
got it.
okay.
Yeah.
And definitely apart from this, I was learning machine learning. Okay. Side by side. I took a course from Coursera, which everyone does at that point of time. We were doing it.
Yeah.
And okay, he was a very good professor where he was explaining linear algebra as well as and each and every concepts of matrices, version and everything. And he used to explain very nicely. Okay, how is it going? What actually are we can call variables. That things actually hit me a lot. It was not so difficult. I understood. That was a very interesting course I used to do. It was a 4 months of course. I did it in 2.5 months.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Yeah.
Just 2.5. Yeah, I did it. And not only machine learning, I did in 2.5 months. I was doing Python as well as Python practice.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just three things. Okay. People have to focus on. Okay. One
Yeah.
is Python. Second one is machine learning. Okay. Now, when it is done right, when Python is done, and it will not go for more than 1 month, I think, learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will do. If you have a basic knowledge, you can
Correct.
learn syntax in 10 days. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing as that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 10 day job if you are learning. But if you are
Exactly.
first time, then it will take more 1.5
More
to
time.
2 months to understand with syntaxes and
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
And then you start doing coding in HackerRank. That I used to do. I also started with a basic one, print hello. I did leave that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember. HackerRank, if I go and see solved problems, I have that. I went from easy to medium to then hard. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Then machine learning is done, Python and this thing is done. Then I started building machine learning projects. One of my seniors sent me some good project from Udionix. Where they explained the projects as well as they gave the code also. It's not like I was blank, and they gave me a code also, and I used to clear code, and those projects actually helped me in understanding in depth. Okay, and
Got it.
in that video also, he was explaining each and everything. Why we are replacing, let's say everyone fills with nan values with zero, right? And if I enter as why zero,
Yeah.
how will you handle missing values? How do you handle large data? How will you handle unbiased data? Everything was discussed in that,
Got
idiotic
it.
course. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, that helped me a lot understanding, it's not only about doing projects, but also learning it along the way. Each and every step has its own significance. Okay. And mainly five steps in our data processing and everything, right? Data, those things were covered there. This was my second machine learning projects. Okay. Python and Python coding was going on. After a certain time, I started picking up on SQL. Okay. Because each and every company which I was visiting, they were asking for SQL. I've seen it. Okay. Basic understanding of SQL is needed. Okay. Like mainly what I have seen people, interviewers asking is like, what is difference between this SQL? There are a lot of SQL, relational and non-relational. SQL is also there. There are so many new SQL is coming and NoSQL is also there. And you should know what are these things, terminologies at least.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of joins, basic, what are different joins and everything. I used to study all these things. What's the foreign key? What's the primary key? All these things I used to study and make a notes. Okay. I never left making notes. Okay.
Got it.
And
Got it.
one thing. Okay. Next comes something very important, statistics. Okay.
Yeah.
I was not really focused on statistics because Andrew Vijay was covering a little bit here and there. Okay. Linear algebra. But the statistics part is I took statistics in my master's. Okay. That helped me a lot.
Got it.
F test, T test, they used to make us do all those. There was a lab also in college, based on these tests. And that helped. Okay. And definitely a lot of interviews used to ask, how did you evaluate your model? And I did F test. Some people used to tell accuracy, some people used to tell precision.
Yeah.
How will you decide for which this thing we need, which one? Okay. All these things is help me. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
This was my preparation. Okay. It was around 7 to 8 months of journey. I started around 5 months. It's not like a 1, 2 months, 3 months thing. Okay. Definitely we will need people have to be patient. Okay. They Okay, and it's a very key factor in this learning because it's data science has become like an ocean now. It's not one thing.
Definitely. Yeah.
So after studying 8 months, getting into the job also, it was
Mhm.
not so easy for me. I will come to that part. Okay,
Sure,
but
sure.
before that, this was the inter preparation. Till
Got it.
last month, this thing. But the last month was a game changer. I changed my tactics a little bit. I
Mhm.
started focusing on how to get selected first. The 1 or 2 months we can say I started preparing for this aptitude.
Mhm.
During my
Got it.
college placement. Okay,
Yeah.
and after that I started preparing HR questions. I've seen people doing all the hard work; they are getting rejected in HR.
HR. Yeah.
I
Exactly.
I should not be in this case. In this situation. And I used to write down there are not more than 10 questions HRs can ask.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself. Why are you switching from this domain to this domain? I used to be very shift forward and but
Mhm.
very confident because I know what I've written down and what I've practiced or something. But
Got it.
yes, confidence comes with practice. You practice it, 1 month before only I started. Okay.
Mhm.
And then I also made a lot of sheets on my project. Okay.
Got it.
Whatever I had put on my resume, I made sure that I know each line by heart
Mhm.
or something.
Got it.
Because like every day you are seeing for 60 days, you know which
Yeah.
line is what. The project
Yeah.
is a project.
Exactly.
Why I built that skill and where I use that skill. How where did I get a award? How many participants were there in award and all those things you formulate on yourselves. You know,
Got it.
and you be prepared. This was my interview preparation strategy. Covering
Got
on
it.
mainly. I will just summarize it. Okay, Python coding. Okay, and the next come is machine learning and machine learning projects. This is the
Mhm.
second part. Third part is SQL. Fourth one is statistics. Okay, four
Got it.
pillars data science.
Got it.
When you start focusing on this, you will even life journey becomes easy.
Got it. Got it. So, like, that's good. Like, what are the topics you have mentioned? Those are very important. And apart from that, what I can infer from what you have told is, one is you are habituated for everything. Like, whatever projects you are working on, whatever concepts you are reading, like that was like a continual process which helped you get habituated with that learning. So that
Mm.
was one thing. And the other thing was taking notes. Like whenever you were preparing, you were writing that down. So that helped you a lot of things to
Yes,
get remembered in your brain. So those
yes,
two were the key points which helped you majorly in the interview process, I guess. So that's a good
yes.
thing actually. Making notes and consistently working on whatever you're doing. That's a good thing to have actually. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I still have that notes. I still just go to my cupboard. I want to see my notes. And, after keeping inside, placeholder after 1 year,
Mm.
all the things I written in the front, they are in the back. But it's like fun to see all those things. Due to moisture, these things happen, I think. But yes, and it is like fun. I see myself, what I've written. Tell me about yourself was the question, and I've written all those things. Okay, what I've written. Okay. It was like a fun thing. But yeah, that effort goes on
Yeah.
each and every day. You have to divide your day accordingly. That is the most important thing. I used to study around 6 hours apart from my college. Okay, and consistently for 6 to 8 months. That made me that mindset. It's not like overnight change in my mindset. Okay. It
Got it.
took a lot of time for me. And definitely I am also a human being. I also
Yeah.
forget. That's the reason these papers come into picture. हाँ
Got
कुछ
it.
भूल गए ठीक है
Mhm.
हाँ फॉरेन की क्या होता है प्राइमरी की और फॉरेन की के बीच में क्या डिफरेंस होता है ठीक है
Definitely.
ठीक
Yeah.
जाके देख लो एक बार लिख लिया तुमने दैट
Mhm.
रियली हेल्प बूस्टेड माय कॉन्फिडेंस इट डिड नॉट गो टू द गूगल सर्च एंड लर्न अगेन ओके सब कुछ
Got it.
ऑलरेडी
Got
अवेलेबल है
it. Mhm. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, so let us talk something about your interview experience and how is it going at Accenture. So first, let us talk about like how was your interview experience? Like you might
Hmm.
even few rounds. Like could you throw us some light on those interviews? Like what were you asked, and were there any DSA questions like data structures and algorithms? Because as
Hmm.
many students expect that DSA is something that will be asked at each and every company. Was that the case for you as well? Or if so, like if DSA was asked, like what level was asked in the interview?
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming to this question, actually, I wouldn't have discussed regarding my first placement. It was web development based, but my role was there.
Okay.
Okay. And the DSA question came. That's why I'm mentioning it here. The
Okay.
DSA question was especially asked in this interview, which I got placed in December 8, okay, of 2020. Okay. That's when I got placed, because the first 8 days which I attended, a lot of companies come in IT Bombay. What happens is like they are these interview process. First they ask aptitude, then they go through selection procedure and everything. DSA questions will be there, and I have seen DSA questions of Uber also as well as Facebook also. You know, I got through those resume screening process and I attended those DSA questions. It was like very top level. They were asking binary search tree, graphs and everything. And I
Correct.
was not familiar. I've never done this thing. But I said, right, I did a competitive coding,
Mhm.
okay, for last 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I not mentioned it now, but what I made sure is like I completed my senior's resume. Okay. First 6 months, I only did is like just replicate his resume. Okay.
Mhm.
Of a senior who did it in, who is there in Japan, which I told. I just
Yeah.
did whatever he has done. And but intensified it. Okay. I rest 2 months was left. Okay.
Mhm.
And I did the competitive coding. This competitive coding, I did till circular linked list. Okay. This helped me a lot,
Mhm.
a little bit about dynamic programming. Okay. And I used to clear those I used to solve one questions, 1.5 questions, but in one of these things, I solved 2 questions, okay, out of three. And there was one company where I solved all the 3 questions, but I didn't
Mhm.
got through, because a lot of CS students were there. They usually prefer CS students, you know.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't go through those, this thing,
Mhm.
get through those initial rounds. But on December 8th, 9th, when I got selected,
Mhm.
there I had solved this, simple DSA question. It was mainly arrays and everything. Okay. And
Mhm.
I did that. It was not mainly people will ask if you're a aspiring data scientist, right? They will not focus mainly on data science for the initial beginner positions. If you're applying for some good level, not very product top 5 companies we can call. I
Yeah.
have seen my friends applying and they get rejected because they don't know TS and everything. But it's a skill we can learn. I said, right, I went through circular linkage. If I would have given 1 more month, I would have learned graphs and
Mhm.
BST. And it's a practice again. Okay.
Got
It
it.
was not asked in my second interview where I faced in Accenture as a data science analyst. There, my interview, I said experience, I will tell you.
Mhm.
The first, this thing was, mainly a person comes, and he asked me regarding whatever projects I have done. It was mainly based on those things. Okay.
Mhm.
And very less of, intense data science. Okay. And
Mhm.
one thing that again helped me is my project. Okay.
Good. Yeah.
There's a funny story. And what happened is like my project, a earphone trend analysis, which I was doing, was I chose the Hyderabad city as my main area of research. There was a good data there. And as soon as I said, like I'm researching on air quality in, Hyderabad and everything, and
Mhm.
that interviewer just left the pen and he just sat like this. अच्छा ठीक है maybe वहीं पर बैठा हूँ हैदराबाद में like I'm also sitting in Hyderabad, let's discuss. I said, "Oh, ठीक है." Like he started asking very good questions, not about data science, but he was asking mainly, very good questions regarding what is the main problem do you see in Hyderabad. And I did research, I told all those things, and
Mhm.
why air pollution is increasing and everything. And he started asking very good questions regarding what assumptions did you take in your,
Mhm.
project. Okay, because these questions no one has asked before. Like I have seen a lot of things, but definitely before starting, we do take assumptions, right?
Got it. Yeah.
This is like, we are not considering beyond this boundary. We are considering this region as like no traffic region. Okay,
Mhm.
because one of the site was geological park for me, and I was considering that within 1 kilometer park range there is no vehicle going. Everything. Okay, this was
Mhm.
assumptions which, and I mentioned it to him. It was very nice thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
And there were some assumptions which I cannot tell, and he actually
Yeah.
contributed there. It was like a fun this thing. It's like
Got it.
मुझे नहीं आता. I was very this thing. Sir, मुझे पता नहीं इसके आगे. I don't know much about these assumptions beyond this. These were assumptions
Mhm.
which we took. Okay. Then comes the questions of mainly my projects, why accuracy, why
Mhm.
precision, which I told you earlier. Okay. And then
Yeah.
it was interview goes from about 20 to 30 minutes. My interview went for 40 minutes. You know
And
and there was a very fun interview question which I liked actually. Yeah, the question was regarding there was a mm, there was a shopkeeper uh, just
Mhm.
beside IT Bombay, just meant hypothetical,
Mhm.
and suddenly his nails starts going up. Okay,
Mhm.
give me 10 reasons why sales are going up.
Oh, that.
And he's like, if you answer, 10, okay,
Mhm.
you are selected. And
Oh, man.
it seems simple, but you cannot find more than two to three. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
literally, like I I was telling, like he's opening it in the wrong time. Usually
Mhm.
people go after 9:30, 10. It was there'll be
Mhm.
no traffic, and people come back around 5:36, and 7 o'clock they come back. If you open this shop after 11 and closes before 5, it is a very bad thing. There'll be that's why he says are going. I gave so many reasons. I have one by one, one by one, one by. I said, like these are the reasons. He said, no, only 6 reasons you are given. He was
Oh,
counting. I was like explaining, and he was counting. It was like a very, you tell another four. I said, okay, I made an attempt. It's like a very fun. And as soon as I heard that, okay, cool. It was nice talking to you. That was the end of the interview. And I
great.
got selected for the next. Okay.
Got it.
And the
Got
next
it.
interview was actually very nice thing. It was mainly data science. It was a senior manager who took my interview, and
Mhm.
she asked a lot of questions regarding how to handle null values, which I said, if a data is very large,
Mhm.
how will you handle, you know
Got it.
if there is a lot of correlation between the columns, variables,
Got
how
it.
do you handle? I told about principal component analysis and everything. I mentioned one by one, and that actually gave confidence maybe in the interviewer regarding me. Okay,
Got it.
and questions whichever they asked, I answered it. Okay.
Mhm.
I was very confident that ये round भी clear हो जाएगा. And
Great.
and the third round was HR interview. Okay.
Got it.
The
Yeah.
main thing is no coding round here. Okay.
Mhm.
And HR interview round was mainly, yeah, again, why do you want to switch and everything. Okay.
Mhm.
And it was 5 to 6 questions afterwards. They ended the call. And I waited for the results. And in the
Got
night,
it.
I got the, yeah, that's
Got
how I
it.
got.
Got it. Okay. So that's good to hear actually. So what I can infer from this experience is like they majorly focused on the analytic thinking part, like how we were able to give answers for a particular use case. So that
Mm,
focuses on your thinking part. And one more thing, your basic data science concepts. So are you familiar with the fundamentals of data science or not?
mm,
And
mm, mm.
the next thing is like the storytelling part, like how you are able to explain your project or were you genuinely involved in a project or not. So those are all the things that I can infer, and these are like pretty much important whenever you are working on any project or preparing for interview. Yeah. So that's good to hear. And we have just two more questions left. I won't bore you with them. Just two more questions. Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see that you have been working as a data scientist in Accenture for almost 2 years, like 1.8 years, right? So apart from the traditional ML and DL concepts, what all other things would you recommend the people to learn who want to get into data science? Like you might have noticed, like you have learned something, and after going there, you might have noticed few other skills or we could say technologies that you might have thought I could have learned before. So
Mm.
could
Okay.
you mention all those things if it's possible? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's like a very roller coaster journey for me also. Definitely there's a learning each and every day in Accenture.
Mhm.
That it has given me immense opportunities where I can improve myself. You know. Because when I started my journey as a data science analyst, went through some Coursera courses, Udemy courses, and my main project. It was
Mhm.
not mainly ML or DL. It was statistics project.
Mhm.
And what happened as soon as I come here, all the projects are there in a cloud.
Got
Okay, it's not like everything is hosted there, and people are talking about DevOps, GitHub, Git and GitHub and all those things. And since I heard little bit about them each and here and there, okay, I took a course from course regarding Git and GitHub, how to initiate Git and all those things. I used to study a little bit here and there, and I also had a introduction to cloud computing from Great Learning, I think. Okay, I used to understand what is going on. Okay, and that actually helped me when I entered my industry, IT industry.
got
And what I learned there is like, definitely code is there. You write it in your local, okay, but
yeah.
it actually lives, right? You have to upload it, and it's not
Got
like you just write the code and you can upload. It's not
got
like that because you can write the very good code and you can upload the wrong code and the whole the process stops. There's a
got
definitely
it.
these things you have to understand. That's where people I will tell, guide them in terms of like अंडरस्टैंड करो डिफरेंस है मान लो VS कोड में तुम कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हो एंड इफ यू वांट टू पुश समथिंग फर्स्ट यू हैव टू कमिट इट
Mhm.
okay okay the staging area we can call and then you'll have to push it okay
Got it.
this is the stages people don't know after they go there and they're like हाँ पता नहीं you know
Got it.
and it should not एटलीस्ट वीडियो देख लो कोई कर रहा है पहले कमिट VS कोड में ऑप्शन आता है पहले कमिट रीजन लिख के कमिट करोगे फिर बाद में स्टेज
Mhm.
करोगे पुश करोगे
Got
ओके
it.
yeah
Mhm.
this is what we'll have to understand okay like these things are
Got it.
going on actually other than that at least one of the cloud it's not like AWS or GCP or something any cloud you can learn okay
Mhm.
and Azure these three
Mhm.
clouds actually play a very important role now okay as
Got
soon
it.
as you understand how cloud is working and how people are uploading there and for everything there's a different okay if you
Mhm.
want to upload a Python like we are working in Databricks
Got it. Got
okay
it.
and create a Python code there. But the data can be in Snowflake, data
Yeah.
can be in the EL
Yeah.
or some other storage, blob storage. Okay.
Mhm.
But what like we have to know how to link them. Okay. In the companies we can learn. There's nothing to worry, people, but if you have some free time, if you want to learn something more, you can just take a
Mhm.
free subscription. Okay. Azure provides a free trial and everything. You can try around there. Just try to
Got it.
upload your dummy data in somewhere and just try to make a connection. That's how people
Mhm.
will gain confidence. They will get out of the, that race. You'll get ahead of the
Understood.
race.
Understood.
Very that it will help them. Okay. Other than
Got it.
that, this data science skills, right? What people
Mhm.
will do, यार मैं आगे डेटा साइंस में NLP भी सीख लेता हूँ, ओपन सी भी सीख लेता हूँ, RNN
Mhm.
भी सीख लेता हूँ, ठीक है, स्पीच
Mhm.
रिकग्निशन, रिकग्निशन सब कर लिया. And what
Mhm.
where it will go? There's no need of that. And they're doing basic analysis because the project is not like they'll be sponsored stage by stage, stage by stage. Like for first 6 months, there will be only extraction of data and EDA processes and everything will be there. Maybe all the things will be coming later, and that too not mainly computer vision as such. Something other may come up. Okay, so
Got it.
people should not be disheartened. Okay, definitely you should have knowledge of each and everything. Okay, but
Mhm.
the thing is like there's uh, no need of disheartening or something. Yeah, मुझे ये नहीं आता, ये नहीं आता. Okay.
Mhm.
जस्ट
Yeah.
नीड टू हैव वन नॉलेज एनएलपी और इसमें माहिर हो ठीक है चलेगा तो कहीं ना कहीं हेल्प हो जाएगा आपको आप बाद में स्विच भी कर सकते हो कंपनी में भी इंटरनल स्विच होते हैं बिटवीन द टीम्स
Mhm.
ओके someone is working on it you can go under them and everything but for first 1 year you can it's all about learning getting adapted to the IT world how they are
Mhm.
understanding there will be a development stage and there will be a production stage you cannot directly push
Mhm.
the code to production right definitely they will have to go to
Yeah.
the development and then they'll have testing will be there then the manager and the team
Mhm.
authorizes then it will go to the production okay and these
Got
things
it.
the student 90% of the students don't know about this because it's not taught in any of the course okay
Got it.
some
Yeah.
others has to be taken to understand all these things okay and
Mhm.
talking about my journey okay it's like first
Mhm.
I started working on AWS okay I
Mhm.
started understanding how and mainly my project was on R language again okay that's the
Okay.
reason I
Yeah.
got selected okay my
Yeah.
I was working on R during my B.Tech M.Tech and again R after 6 months there was a sudden change okay
Mhm.
I went into the area of supply chain okay now I'm
Got
working in the area of supply chain analytics okay we are
Mhm.
mainly a model for inventory optimization okay distributing the inventory okay along the stores so among the stores so that the profit will be very high and the stock
Mhm.
costs will be less and this needs a lot of optimization behind. And
Got it.
there will be there will be no use of very good machine learning models like boost or something in this
Mhm.
it's a totally other we're using algorithm multiple linear you know MLIP
Got it.
algorithm for
Mhm.
optimization. Okay. We're using
Mhm.
Pulse, Biomo, and all these things we tried out.
Got
There are
it.
different sort of can you understand all these things? Because being a student, people not knowing what is Pulse, what is Biomo, what is OR tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's true.
I also after coming here, I spent some time and learned it. These are just the tools. You can
Mhm.
learn. But the pandas remain. Okay. Like if someone tells you there is a table, product table, there's a customer table, and you merge those tables and take it as a one table. You don't know only how to merge. Okay, how to
Mhm.
join.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Definitely you'll have to understand. You'll have to practice it beforehand only.
Mhm.
That's how people can spend some time on SQL. You know. before
Got it.
coming. There will be some 1 month gap as such, right? After college,
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
should practice understanding the cloud as well as SQL. That will
Got
play a very important role in your journey. Yeah, this is what my journey has been also.
got it.
Personal chat and then supply chain. Yeah, I'm still working in the area of supply chain. Here and there, I do POC projects on
Mhm.
NLP and
Got it.
computer vision. I have a little bit knowledge of them, and I help team to like there was a project called as on-shelf object monitoring system where we used to
Mhm.
the main task was to detect how many objects are there on the shelf. It was a very interesting problem.
Yeah.
And I refreshed OpenCV skills and everything. Then we built those algorithms along with the intern actually.
Mhm.
Okay, that's how it has been. There will be opportunity. Your knowledge will not go waste. Okay,
Got
कहीं
it.
से open CV open use हो गया, ठीक है?
Understood.
And
Yeah.
NLP also I have used in some of the POC projects. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so that was good to hear actually. So what mean things what I can infer is like one is like quality code. Like whenever you're working on a project, try to write some quality code so that you will get habituated when you move on to the corporate world. So there we can
Mm-hmm.
also maintain that habit. So it is something like gradual, like through experience it will be increasing. The other thing is like the versioning tools, as you mentioned, like the Git or any other versioning tools. So
Mm-hmm.
having a little understanding of that will be an edge for us, right? So other
Mm-hmm.
than that, and the cloud itself, cloud and SQL, right? So I think
Mm-hmm.
two things are something it's good to have, and this will differentiate us from other competitors as well. So yeah, so
Very true.
yeah, cool.
Wonderful.
So that's good to hear. So this is the last question. So let's wrap this up with this question. So this is a very generic question. You can try to answer it in any way. So what is your suggestion for the people out there who might be freshers or who are in some other domain and are trying to get into data science? So what is your suggestion for them? Like how they can
Mm.
get into this data science domain? So please
Okay.
give some.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. First thing I want to say, okay, it is possible.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do not listen to anyone, whatever anything will say, Just yes, definitely if you're listening to this podcast and for to me, I just tell, get started. You will love this journey.
Got it.
Because the data science is not just, a domain or something. It will definitely used in your children's books also over
Mm.
the period of time. Machine learning will be taught in 10th standard. आपके बच्चे आके आपसे पूछेंगे पापा पापा ये मशीन लर्निंग क्या है ये मॉडल है ओके and definitely there will be a situation when it will be covered in yes in a 10th standard subject also there will be a day.
Got it.
Not like it will be a waste of time and if you are started with this journey and if you have some basic machine learning course you have taken, make sure that you make notes.
Mhm.
Okay, and you see why this is person is doing that. I try to understand each and every concept with the utmost sincerity.
Mhm.
Okay. And then give
Got it.
8 months. Like don't enter this data science just for 4 months, 6 months target लेके जा रहे हो.
Mhm.
Don't keep this target.
Got it. Yeah.
This is a learning process. Yeah, definitely you can apply jobs with not knowledge you have. Okay, I'm not selling not to apply, but this learning will never stop.
Yeah.
It's like a lifelong learning because this industry is ever evolving. Okay, after coming here, after spending 8 months, after coming to IT, I understood it's just a drop. No, it's like, but it's a good fundas. We can call instead of a drop or ocean or something. You can
Mhm.
just compare it to a basic foundation you have to build. Then it
Got
can
it.
be one floor, two floor, three, four,
Mhm.
five floor, and seven. Okay, but
Got
yes, these 4 pillars of data science which I mentioned, focus on those things.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
and then what happens is like you will gain that confidence. कोई भी अगर problem आता है, and I can tackle that. Because what I have understood after these things is like, it's not about being a data science analyst. I will have to become a data science consultant also once upon a time. And I will be a data science manager also. And I cannot just go here and there asking for help or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely people will be there to help. But you have to be
Mhm.
self-sufficient. And what I understood is like, yeah, should take charge of yourself. You know, take,
Got it.
be a confident and yeah, and solve some problems. Go to Kaggle, do some competitions. Attend some competitions where there will be a problem, there will be a data set, and no one will be solving. You can just solve on your own. See,
Mhm.
if you are able to come up with a solution, come
Mhm.
up with a good accuracy, or no.
Yeah.
Oh, accuracy, like very bad accuracy comes, nothing. Yeah, what are they doing? Okay, they are removing the collinearity. Then you
Mhm.
also come here, remove the collinearity and see accuracy increased. Okay. And there are so many duplicate values. You try to remove those duplicate values and again see, oh, again accuracy increased. All
Mhm.
these things you can try here and there. That's how you boost your confidence. And nothing to worry. You're from commerce background, you're from some other background. See, I am from mining engineering, went into environment, then I'm doing here.
Yeah,
It's not like my
yeah,
whole study is wasted. In the future, I don't know. After 10 years, maybe I go into some mining engineering company and there's a solution. They're asking for me. But okay,
yeah.
how can you combine the data science, data
Science,
analysis,
yeah.
and mining engineering or data science and environmental engineering? Okay,
Yeah,
definitely it's a lifelong learning. Okay, not a short term. It's for a long term learning, which I can tell.
got it, got it. That's really like inspiring actually. So I think all the audience out there who are watching this video, they will like take all these points into consideration and prepare themselves while they're trying to jump into this data science domain. So it's good to hear. Like it was really inspiring, like your whole journey from that mining and environment and science field to the data science field. So that was really good. And all the struggle you have faced during your masters and the way you managed your life, that was really good. So thank you, Rakesh. Thank you for sharing your story. Thanks a lot for joining us. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for watching. Please do subscribe our channel
And
and
one thing,
yeah,
yeah, like one thing I want to add here, and you did a
sure,
very fantastic job. And for your age and the stature, right, the calm and composure which I mentioned is a very good thing. And the CloudyML, what your team is doing is like a very good thing, which I can tell because these things will help a lot of people and motivate them in the long run. Okay.
thank you, Rakesh.
And one thing already I've mentioned, right? If people want to reach out to you or me, I will give the links. I have my own YouTube channel named Rakesh at IITB. You can go there and visit and just ping me. I will give my number to Venu. Okay. Anyone who needs help can ping me.
Sure, sure, definitely. I will mention all those links in the description itself. You can go ahead and connect with Rakesh. And if you have any questions, you can either post them on the comments or you can simply go to the Rakesh LinkedIn page and you can just post a message there. He will try to answer there. So, yeah,
Sure,
thank
sure.
you, Rakesh. Thank you guys for watching. Please do subscribe our channel and let's meet in next amazing podcast. Till then, keep learning, keep hustling, and do not worry about your job or preparation. It will happen, but you need to give some time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Bye.